Okay, so in this video we are trying to understand what is Angular 245, why we have to go for that, what are the advantages of Angular 245, what are the differences of Angular versions. Angular JS 1 we have, Angular 245 we have, what are the differences between all these versions. This type of understandings we are trying to have. So first the question is, what is Angular? Angular is a framework. Angular is a framework. So what type of framework is it? It's a client-side framework or server-side framework. So here we have two types of frameworks actually, client-side framework and server-side frameworks. Whenever the framework executes on the client system, we have to call it as a client-side framework. Whenever the framework executes on the server system, we have to call it as a server-side framework. See how the web executes. Listen, first we have a browser. This browser makes a request to server. So browser first responsibility is what? Sending request to server. Sending request to server. What the server first responsibility? Receiving the request from browser. Receive request from browser. Then do process. And after doing the process, you will find out some result data. That result data you have to provide to the browser. So sending response to the browser. Then this particular response will be received by browser. Receive response. Okay. So in order to send the request to server, get the response, plus in order to manage the user interface in the browser, we require the client-side frameworks. What are the client-side frameworks? Angular is one of the most popular client-side frameworks. Also, there are some other different client-side frameworks available. What are they? React.js also available. React.js. Backbone.js available. Ember.js available. Nacode.js available. These are some of the examples of which one client-side frameworks that executes on the browser and manage the user interface and the complete code of the client-side program. But now we have the servers, and on the server side also we can execute some frameworks, and those frameworks are server-side frameworks. What are the server-side frameworks? In Java language we have Spring framework. Okay, in .NET we have ASP.NET MVC. We have ASP.NET MVC. Like this we have different frameworks. Suppose in PHP we have Cake PHP, in Node.js we have Express, lot of. But our context is not understanding these server-side frameworks. Our context is about which one? The client-side frameworks. What are the client-side frameworks? Angular is the most popular of them. The most number of jobs available, the most number of people are learning which one? Angular today. After Angular, the second place go for which one? React. And after that only some remaining Backbone.js or Ember, whatever comes into picture. Okay. So here, since Angular is the most popular client-side frameworks, what are the advantages of Angular framework? What are the benefits that it offers for me which are not available in these others? So it supports several features. data binding set supports. It supports services development, URL routing, animations, easier AJAX, okay, moduling. Like this, we have many other additional features. Okay, so overall, it is responsible for providing the complete solution to manage your client-side code in the user interface area, starting from designing as well, starting from the reusable code development, and starting from the database connections to server, and starting from organizing your code well in a well-structured manner, reusability of the code. In each and every aspect, the Angular has solutions. So it has different other features like this. So the main highlight of this particular Angular is it's mainly meant for data bindings. Actually, you can find this data bindings in most of the remaining alternatives also. In React.js also, we are able to implement data bindings. In Backbone, Ember also, in others also, we are able to create data bindings. But these are the additional areas Angular is more advanced, more stronger. So because of these reasons, the people start using which one? Angular. Okay, first let us understand this data bindings. Okay, we got some data from the server. From the server, we got some data. For example, we have collected some product details, product name, cost, and its a discount. So product name, ABC, product cost 1000, discount is some 500. Some details we have got from the server. Now I want to print this particular data inside my user interface. I got some data, but it is invisible to user. User wants to see the information in the user understandable format. So here I am creating some HTML tags. Here, with the help of HTML, we are able to create text boxes. Suppose we have 3 text boxes, and this first text box value should be retrieved from this product name property actually. So this is called actually one object, and each of these are called properties. Object is a collection of properties here. Anyways, so this text box is connected to this property, retrieving value from the property. This second text box is connected to cost property, retrieving value from that. This third text box is connected to discount property, retrieving value from that. So those values will be reflected in the respective text boxes. So listen, what is the value of product name actually? ABC, that is displayed here. What is the value of cost? 1000, that is displayed in the second text box. What is the value of discount? 500, that is displayed here. So not only that, every time when you modify the data inside the object, the same is automatically reflected in the user interface. When you modify this data here in the user interface, the same is reflected in the object. So the relation between the user interface and object is called as data bindings. So here we have to call it as this one is the UI, user interface. This one is an object. Here object is a object inside the memory. Object in JavaScript is a collection of properties and methods. Okay, so here mainly we have properties. Okay, so these mutual updates are called as data bindings. To create this type of data bindings, we have all these frameworks available. Check it: Angular, React, Backbone, so many. So most popular of them, number one among them in the client side is Angular. Okay. It also supports services. So what is the meaning of services? Services means reusable code. For example, we have created a class. This is calculating some EMI offers. Imagine some online shopping site. This is calculating some EMI offers. Here some calculate method is available. This is for calculating EMI based on the given price. Okay. This is calculating and returning me the EMI amount for certain number of months. But this same requirement is required in different pages. Suppose we have electronic space separately, mobile space separately, home appliances space separately. In each and every page, the same requirement, same formula for calculation. Instead of repeating the same code in every page, if we can place this as an independent item, that will be accessible everywhere. So that is your service. EMI first service we have to call. This is service class. So what is service? Service is a reusable set of methods which can be used in multiple pages. A reusable set of methods is service class. Okay. So that services development is possible in this Angular. Okay. Next I will explain about URL routing. Actually I don't want to much focus on these remaining. So these I will explain in the later further lessons. First I want to focus on which one? URL routing. Up to URL routing I want to explain here. So URL routing. What is this URL routing? Page navigation. For which URL? Which page? Do you know Gmail? So in Gmail, listen, this is your Gmail website. Here we have different links are available. Inbox link is available. Drafts are available. Sent mail is available. Different hyperlinks. When I click on particular link, relevant information is being appear here. List of mails will be appear here. Okay, that's fine. If I click on inbox, first what happens? Address will be changed as #inbox. Did you ever notice? In the URL, it will change the URL. At the most right side, you can see #inbox in the URL in the location bar. Once this address is changed, then only the relevant content is appear here. Okay, if you click on drafts, same way it will go to URL and it will change like #drafts, #sent. Based on the hyperlink that you click here, the first address is changing. Based on the address, relevant page is coming here. But how the system know that for this URL, this page has to be executed? There should be somewhere mapping, right? Okay, I'm just mapping here. #inbox means inbox page has to be displayed. #sent means sent mail page has to be appear. And so on. This mapping process is called as what? Routing. The routing is also possible in one of the features as Angular. Like this, if you continue, animations, better easy integration of Ajax. So this type of additional benefits are available. Overall, it's a complete solution for complete organizing of the client-side code. Angular will not execute on the server side. Angular is not a substitution for any server-side technology like a Spring or ASP.NET MVC or anything else. It's only stick to client-side, but it is providing complete solution for the client-side developer. Only the thing that it is expecting from you, you should know JavaScript, especially functions and objects. These two topics are mainly focused. If you are good in functions and objects in JavaScript, you are ready to go with the Angular framework. But actually Angular has divided into two major versions. That's totally confusing for many people today. So that I want to provide clarity about versions of Angular. versions of Angular. This Angular framework is divided into two major versions, or you can say two generations. The very first version is AngularJS. Second one is simply called Angular. Yes, correct. Second version onwards, it's not AngularJS, it is Angular. But actually what the heading versions of Angular we have given. Here we have used the word Angular, here also Angular. That's make confusing, right? So to avoid the confusion, what I can try to say, this is AngularJS 1. AngularJS 1, version number 1. This is 2 plus. 2 plus means 2 onwards. Angular 2 onwards. So 2 plus means it may be 2, it may be 3, it may be 4, it may be 5, whatever it may be. So in AngularJS 1 we have several subversions. So 1.0 up to 1.6 we have. As of this date, the latest version of AngularJS 1 is 1.6. 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 up to 1.6. That's latest as of now. Okay, leave this. This is a first version, old version, a bit outdated version actually. But this one is a new version. So Angular 2 Plus has several versions. Angular 2 itself. Angular 3 is not there. Angular 3 is not released. So Angular 4. Angular 5. Okay, in the year of 2015, Angular 2 was released. In the year of 2017 March, Angular 4 was released. And 2017 November, Angular 5 was released. So maybe in the next month, actually in the next month, in the March 2018, Angular 6 is announced. Angular 6 announced in 2018 March. So, okay, mostly they are ready to release, so they are working on that still. So, in 2018 March, Angular 6 would be released. That's a promise given by Google. Okay, but as of now, as of this date of video, which is the latest, Angular 5 is the latest as of now. That's why you can say 245. That's for the beginning in the heading. Introduction to which one? Angular 245. 3 is not there. The common doubt generally, so why the 3, the version number 3, why the 3 is skipped? What the reason behind it? So one of the features of Angular 2 Plus is each and every aspect or each and every concept is available as a independent packages. Independent packages. For example, we have several packages inside Angular 2 Plus, that is @Angular/core, @Angular/common, @Angular/router. Like this we have so many other packages available. So each and every concept, for each and every concept we have a separate package. For example, in my application I want to integrate data bindings. So Angular/forms package is required. In my application I want to integrate routing, URL routing. So Angular/router package is required. In my application, I want some HTTP, that means HTTP request, HTTP response, nothing but AJAX. To integrate AJAX, Angular/HTTP package required. So based on the requirement of your actual application, you have to download and install certain packages. Okay, so for each and every concept, they have provided certain packages. So why we have discussed about this particular point? So in this period of time, while Angular 2 was available, so Angular core version number 2.0, Angular common version number 2.0, but this router become evolved. Router package become advanced. So many features integrated inside it. To reflect that integrations of so many advanced features in the router, this one is already reached up to 3.2 or 3.3, whatever. So maybe 3 plus, whatever you can say. So only this package become advanced, whereas all the remaining packages like including core, common, forms, any other 2.0 only, this package is 3.2 or 3.3, whatever. So after release of 3.2, I am trying to release a 3.0 of all these. Like 3.2 already released. Next, after latter, I want to release 3.0 of these. It doesn't make sense, right? So it's like I have already completed the 10th class. I'm just going to join the 6th class. So it's not correct. Just like that, here, instead of releasing 3.0, after releasing of 3.2, let's go for the next number. Just bypass this 3. Let's fast forward to 4. That's why everything becomes 4.0. So this is finalized version 4.0. Overall, you can say Angular 4. Angular 4 you can say. So that's the only reason why 3 is skipped here. Since this particular package makes issues with the version number, as it is became advanced already, whereas the older one just a 2.0. That's why to integrate all the version number, to maintain all the version number as the same number, 4.0 was released. And after that 5 was released, that is in 2017 November. Okay, that's fine. But here the surprising point is Angular 1 and Angular 2, if you compare these two, coding is entirely different. Concepts entirely different. The language entirely different. The data binding mechanism, syntaxes or execution flow is entirely different. Overall, complete different framework. But almost no differences between Angular 2, 4, 5. Maybe in 6 also, just very nominal changes they made. Mostly 90% same in between 2, 4, 5, 6. Just minor features, bug fixes, that's anyway common. Performance improvements, that's anyway common. 90% same in 2, 4, 5, 6. But 100% different among these Angular JS 1 versus Angular 2. Let's try to find out the differences between Angular 1 and Angular 2. Concepts difference. So what are the differences? One of the major differences between them is the language. Since the name itself is telling Angular JS, JS means JavaScript. But Angular is a TS. We can call this as a Angular TS. But we should not call it as Angular TS, but actually based on the language, it is what? Angular TS. See, this is JavaScript based. This is TypeScript based. That's one of the differences. This is what? JavaScript based, that is TypeScript based. Okay, fine. So what's the difference? What's this TypeScript and all these things? See, TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. That means all the existing concepts of JavaScript with no changes as it is 100% work in TypeScript. Whatever you write hundreds of lines of program in JavaScript, that as it is working which one? TypeScript. But we have some advanced concepts, additional features. In the JavaScript, what are the different concepts? Tell me. First we have variables, operators, functions, objects, DOM manipulations. Document object model means a window object, document object, some functions like get element by ID, elect, confirm, different other functions and properties available. Overall, you are able to interact with the browser related things. These are the main stuff of the JavaScript. So as it is, same concepts work in TypeScript, but it's an outer circle which contains everything of JavaScript plus additionally it supports classes. So yes, classes introduced. See, if you go to Java, if you go to C#.NET, you can see class name mainly, class name. First we have to create the class. Based on the class we have to create object. That type of classes are missing in JavaScript. Yes, JavaScript doesn't support classes up to 2009 version itself. But TypeScript, which came in 2012, introduces classes. So we can write the classes like, class name. Suppose the class is student. Okay, we can create student ID, number data type, student name, string data type. Like this we can have a number of marks, email, phone number, whatever. So that's a student class. That is created in which language? TypeScript language. Based on this class concept only, we have to create object. Based on the class, we have to create object. And that object will participate in the data bindings. What is the main point of the Angular? Data bindings. Data binding means the relation between the user interface and object. How that object is created based on this class. Okay. In that way, the class concept is required for Angular framework. Okay, that's fine. So classes, inheritance, interfaces. In case if you have any knowledge on .NET and Java, it's not compulsory actually, but just for comparison, in case if you know. In Java, you will just write class name, extends, parent class name, implements, interface name. So such type of syntaxes bring here. Plus additionally modules, and mainly than all these things, most important, data types. And some other miscellaneous features also added, like array functions, destructuring. That's anyway common. So any new language means generally new features available. But main highlighting points are these 5. So classes available. If you are writing extends keyword, that is called inheritance. Extends some parent class. Extend some parent class. That is what? Inheritance. Extends keyword means inheritance. Implements keyword is interface. Implements interface name. Okay. So extends keyword is used to create a child class. Okay, that's different, just leave it. Okay, now just come back. So here, inheritance, interfaces, modules we can create, data types we can create. So modules means what? A group of classes is a module. Suppose in Java we have packages, in .NET we have namespaces, group of classes is called as module here. And data types. Do the JavaScript support data types? JavaScript data types. Answer is internally yes, externally no. For the programmer perspective, no data types. How do you create a variable in JavaScript? Var x equal to 100. Have you mentioned the data type of this particular variable? Have you mentioned anywhere like it's integer data type or number data type? No, never. We never mentioned that. If you want to tell, also not possible. JavaScript doesn't support the data types to the programmer perspective. But internally it will take the data type as number. Externally, programmer can never force the variable to have a particular type of value. So we can store anything. We can store string, we can store objects. Empty braces are called objects. We can store anything. So whatever you wish you can write. That one more thing, in the beginning of the program it was in number. Later in the middle of the program it's a string. At the end of the program it's object. In the same variable we can store anything whatever you like. So in the learning level it seems like an advantage. Easy plus advantage also. We can store anything whatever you wish. But in the real time perspective, sometimes it will be problematic. It will be drawback really. Because if the variable is not having a commitment of data type, if the variable is not assigned to particular data type, somebody may wrongly assign some wrong type of value into your variable. You created a variable, you are assuming that as a number, you are writing some arithmetical operation, plus, minus something, but in the middle of traveling, before addition operation, it was changed as a string. For example, see, here we have written where x equal to 100. I just assume that x is a number. Based on that, I have done x equal to x plus 1. Okay, this is fine. I am expecting the output 101. Okay, that's fine. But in the middle, some external script come into picture and that has changed x equal to ABC. Now the x data type changed. So this plus operator works like a concatenation operator. So this will be like, x plus 1 means you will get ABC 1. The expected one is 101, but actual one is ABC 1. So this type of problems occur. Why? Because the language doesn't permit you to fix the particular data type for a particular variable. But you take C language, C++, Java, .NET, everywhere we must give a particular data type for a particular variable. That is really missing in JavaScript. That causes this type of problems. To overcome these problems, again we go to the Java or C language style or .NET style, whatever you say. We want to fix the particular data type. In TypeScript, data types introduced. Number, string, boolean, this type of data types. As a result, we can create the variables with a particular data type. So once we have given like x number, this is fine, 100 has been stored. But next later, when you assign string type of value into the x, since already x is committed to number data type, this will be wrong. This will be wrong, everything else wrong. You assign numerical value in this, accepted. Otherwise it will be wrong. This will be development time and compile time errors. Development time errors means coding time. In the IDE, when you are writing the code, it will give you errors. While compilation also giving errors. But not runtime errors, of course. Be having a caution such that no runtime errors here. Okay, fine. So this type of features added to the JavaScript, that became TypeScript. So this TypeScript is introduced in 2002 by Microsoft. So this is enough, a strong language which is enough for developing the new generation frameworks. That's why Google has chosen TypeScript for their stuff. So that's why it is must to know TypeScript knowledge for every Angular 2.4.5 developers. So that's why in our course, first we will cover the TypeScript for a few days, then only we will go for actual Angular 2.4.5 classes. So this is for introduction part of the Angular 2.4.5. So we have discussed about what is Angular 2.4.5, why we had to go for Angular 2.4.5, and what are the different versions of Angular, and by this way JavaScript and TypeScript comparison. Okay, thank you.